fun. It's so fun to see people who have been on the retreats before, because it really feels like old home week. It feels like I'm getting to reunite with best friends. So it's really good to have all of you here. And we've got some folks from Instagram joining. So those of you on Instagram, the real party's happening over on Zoom. So you can just comment retreat and we'll send you the link to join us. So I thought, since this is going to be all about manifesting and astrology and embodied manifesting, I thought it would be good for us to get in our bodies and kick it off with a dance party. But before we do that, I just want to share the magic that you were in store for today. We are going to be doing a live event talking about manifestation, embodied manifestation, and astrology. And I don't talk too much about astrology. We do a little bit in our newsletter, but the reality is that the stars, the cosmic blueprint, the cosmic imprint is impacting your manifestations every single day. Just like we're all manifesting every day, whether we know it or not. The stars are impacting how and what we are manifesting. And the beautiful thing is that once you understand how to work with your birth chart, once you understand how to work with the astrology of the time, it can actually amplify your manifestations or it can hinder them. And so it's really important that we understand this. And so we have truly one of the world's most gifted astrologers, Debra Silverman, who also is a psychotherapist, joining us today. She's going to be joining us in a little bit to share about what she's going to be offering on our retreat. And you really couldn't be in better hands. I know that something has magic around it when people just start showing up. And when I named that we were going to be doing a retreat in Colorado Springs, Debra messaged me and she said, Emily, I had 3 dreams about you last night. And I was like, well, what were they? And she said, we were facilitating and I needed everyone's birth charts. And I was like, where is this happening? When is it happening? And she's like, and then I had another dream and another dream. And then I said, well, I have a retreat coming up. And she said, where is it? And I said, Colorado. And she's like, wait, I have a house in Boulder. I'm coming. And then my friend Jess Magic, who is truly, truly one of the most brilliant, gifted ceremonialists, improv musicians, singers, dancers, and medicine women and priestesses that I've ever met, who every time I see her, I fall more and more in love with her. She is also joining us for the retreat. And so I just wanted to host this live today so that you could meet these powerhouse humans and feel not only their individual magic, but how our magic amplifies each other, and what's going to be happening on our retreat that's happening May 29th through June 1st. And this is actually our first retreat we've ever done inside of the United States of Ziva Magic. And it's shaping up to be one of the most special things we've ever created. So those of you who are just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. I would love for you to turn on your camera. I would love to be able to see your beautiful faces. And those of you who are on Instagram, comment retreat, and then we'll send you the link to join us on Zoom. And we're going to kick it off with a little dance party. So let's go ahead and stand on up and take a big breath in. We're going to dance, and then Jess Magic, who's here, she's going to sing us in and pray us in. So go ahead and stand on that. Can you hear that music okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music. And I would say just crank it. I want to see what your pen says. You are a goddess or a god in disguise. Let's go.
She's all seven wonders. I wonder if she knows how wonderful she really is. An extraterrestrial creature. She could change the weather with only a kiss. She will devour. She's got the power. There's magic wherever she goes.
Anything you want to call in, she's take it off. Call it in. Your body's so good. All right. I'm going to invite you to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, taking a big, deep breath in and exhaling on the sound of ah. Another big, deep breath in. Exhaling on a hum. One big breath into your heart. And sending some love to every single person on this Zoom, every single person on this Instagram Live, all of these beautiful magic makers coming together to bring the frequency of heaven on earth into their bodies right here, right now. May we offer the prayer that we receive the music that Jess is going to give us. May we receive the blessings that nature is ready to bestow upon us. All of the blueberries waiting to be received into our hands. All of the abundance, all of the love, all of the magic. May this event be guided. May it be protected. May the technological gods be on our side. May it attract the exact perfect people who are ready to open up to their own magic. May we make a beacon of light so that those who are ready to visualize and alchemize and magnetize not only the life of their wildest imagination, but the world of their wildest imagination be drawn to this retreat. May people receive the exact medicine that they are ready for, no more, no less, for theirs, for ours, and for everyone's highest good. May this event today and may this retreat serve all beings and help to bring the frequency of heaven to earth. May we remember that heaven truly is a vibration and not a destination, and that vibration is available to us right here, right now. Taking a big, deep breath in. And in your own time, you can open your eyes. And I am going to hand the microphone to my beloved sister, Jess Magic. Oh my gosh. Hi, you beautiful angel.
Hi, gorgeous. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, you sound beautiful. You look beautiful. Thank you for dancing with us. I mean, I've been singing your praises, but just officially, now that you're here on the screen, I want everyone to just really receive the boundless, infinite magic that is Jess Magic. I mean, her name is Jess Magic. Okay, like, of course she's coming on the Ziva Magic Retreat. Jess has been facilitating ceremonies, working with medicines, dancing, singing, improvising, basically making her entire life art. And I have never met anyone with such a beautiful and dynamic balance of masculine and feminine energy inside of their own bodies, other than Jess. Also, I have seen her take a room full of people and weave a field of safety and coherence and magic in a level of exquisiteness, of professionalism, unlike anything I've ever seen. And when we get to facilitate together, I feel so much softer. I feel so held, like whole new versions of Emily come out because of her level of mastery. And so when she said yes to joining me on this retreat, I was just crying tears of gratitude for myself, of how much better this retreat is going to be for me personally, but also for every single participant, because you truly are best in class. And so thank you for opening us up with a prayer and a song. And those of you on Instagram, I'm going to end this now, but comment retreat. Come join us on Zoom, because this is where the magic is happening. We love you. We'll see you on the Zoom room.
You. Oh my God, I'm so happy from that dance and from your radiance and your reflection. I just want to see like a little, if that dance just like changed your world just now.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments, like, how's your body feeling now? Just from 1 minute of dance, just from 1 minute of embodiment. How do you feel now versus how you felt when you showed up? Just let us know in the comments. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Keith said
So
pop in. Amy feels awake, feeling lighter. Yeah.
more present, sparkling. So good. So what I was feeling would be really fun to open us up with in terms of just a little interactive song experience, which is always interesting in Zoom, how you really work this out. But I want to try something with y'all. I want to do a call and response. I'm going to try to put it on gallery on my end so I can really see you guys and guys. Okay, now I can see everybody. Yay! Okay, so I would like to see a little raise of hands of who here. We're gonna keep it on mute. Sometimes I like to play where like we just all get off mute, and so you can literally hear everybody else singing along. But I just want to see a raise of hands of like who here, if we do a call and response, even if you're still on mute, is committed to singing in your own space. If I do a call and response, I want to see a raise of hands. Like, will you sing with me? Just I need to know. Amazing. Okay, so we're gonna do a little
Want me to mute
experiment.
myself, Jess? Because I think you should be the call and I'll mute myself. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to do the call, and you're not going to hear a response because you're all going to be hearing yourself responding. So I'll sing a line, and then you'll just get to hear yourself. So it's like really between you, yourself, God, Goddess, and the universe. And so you can sing as loud as you want. You don't have to sing the same thing I'm singing. You don't have to sing on key. I want you to, I have a saying that's we don't sing to be good, we sing to be free. And I want you all to just really play with that. So we'll do this as a song and a prayer. You can stand up or sit down, whatever feels really good for you right now. But I'm going to invite you wherever you are to just put your feet on the earth and to close your eyes for a moment and to feel the earth really just beckoning to you to ground and to connect. And you're going to put your left hand on your heart. And with your right hand, you're just going to reach up to the cosmos, up to the sky, and just kind of conjure up whatever your prayer is for being on this call right now, coming to Emily, working with your meditation, working with your manifestation, whatever is like really, really alive in your life. You're going to take your right hand and just stir it up like you're stirring almost through a soup of sky and clouds and stars to really find that prayer of what do you want to call in today? What would be most nourishing for you? What would be most affirming for you, healing for you, enlivening for you? You're going to grab it like you're pulling it out of the sky and into your fist. And you're going to take it down and hold it in your right fist. And then you're going to start to make a heartbeat. And so that heartbeat is going to be the percussion for this song. And you can keep your eyes closed and just let this be for you. And if you want to start dancing a little bit to your own heartbeat, you can. If you want to open your eyes and look at everyone else dancing with you, you can. But if it feels more intimate and more powerful and less vulnerable for you to just have your eyes closed, you can. Because I really want you to feel like you can sing. No one's listening but you. It goes like this. I can feel my heart beat. You sing. I can feel my heart beat. It's beating to the rhythm of the freedom song. Beating to the rhythm of the freedom song. I can feel my heart beat. You. Oh, it's beating to the rhythm of the freedom song. And when I feel the beat in me, when I feel, I can set my spirit free. Really feel it. And when I feel the beat in you,
And I feel the beat in you.
we can shine our lights on through.
We can shine our lights on through.
I can feel my body move. You can dance a little bit here.
Can feel my body move.
Moving with the power of Mother Earth. Moving with the
With the
power of
power of
Mother.
Mother Earth.
I can feel my body move.
I can feel my body move.
Moving with the power of Mother Earth.
Moving with the power of Mother Earth.
And when I feel her move through me,
When I feel her move through me,
I can set my spirit free. I
I
can
can
set
set
my
my
spirit.
spirit free.
When I feel her move through you, when I
When I
feel
feel
her
her
move
move
through,
through you,
We can shine our lights on through. We
We
can
can
shine our
shine our
lights.
lights on through.
All right, keep going. We're going to do one more verse here. And so, full permission right here. Keep your hearts beating. Let your bodies move. Feel that welcoming in as you pound on your chest. That you're waking yourself up to life, that you're waking yourself up to song, that you're waking yourself up to singing and dancing and praying yourself alive. Our voices are such a powerful way to invoke what we want to feel, what we want to see, what we want to create. So, this last one is about the soul. So, I want you to just feel in your body wherever you feel your soul is living or wanting to be stirred up or acknowledged or awakened. And we're going to do one more verse. Here we go. And I can feel my soul rise. I can
I
feel
can feel
my
my
soul
soul
rise.
rise,
Rising on the wings of a revolution. Rising on
rising
the
on the
wings of
wings
a
of
revolution.
a revolution.
I can feel my soul rise. I
I
can
can
feel
feel
my
my
soul rise.
soul rise,
Is rising on the wings of a revolution. Rising on the wings of
wings
a
of
revolution.
a revolution.
When I feel it rise through me. When
When
I
I feel
feel it
it
rise,
rise through me,
I can set my spirit free.
I
Can
can
set
set
my
my
spirit.
spirit free.
When I feel it rise through you. When I
I feel
feel it
it
rise
rise
through.
through you.
We can shine our lights on through. We can shine our lights on.
Come
So I
through.
want you to just take this moment, take that which was in your right hand, spread your wings out wide, feel your heart awake, being activated, taking a big deep breath in, and exhale, opening up that right fist if you haven't already, and letting that prayer go everywhere and anywhere it needs to go inside of the universe to all and any who are listening to that prayer, including yourself, including your highest self, your inner child, your deepest soul. And then in this last one, we're going to take those wings of the soul rising and just wrap it around ourselves and give ourselves a morning or afternoon hug, just like you're doing such a good job. That kind of a hug. Like, wow, you are really doing a great job. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for singing. Thank you for praying. Thank you for being present. Thank you for your voice. Your voice matters so much. And I'll hand it back over to Miss Emily, and thank you all so much for playing and praying with me.
Thank you, Jess Magic. Let's just give it up for Jess, giving her some happy hands, maybe giving her some love. In the thread. What was that like for you to sing? That might have been like maybe you haven't done that since preschool or since school when you were in church, but there's just something so healing when we bring it back to like when we used to be around the fire, right? Just singing around the campfire or singing the prayers around the dinner table before we were all just on iPads all the time. And just your magic is so outrageously beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you.
Thank you. So happy to be here, Mama.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to play with you in Colorado on the retreat. Like I've had the great fortune of sitting in ceremony with Jess many, many times, and it is equal measures playful and fun and profound and healing. Because I think if all you're doing is profound healing, it can get a little boring and a little heavy and a little like, oh God, we got to like deal with the family trauma again, like more with the inner child work, like more inherited trauma. Like, come on. Like, when do we ever just get to live our lives? Do we ever to like get to enjoy all this work that we've done? And if it's just fun for the sake of fun, and it's just like we're just doing drugs and having sex and numbing out and pleasure, 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 but not actually getting to the sacredness, then it can feel a little thin. It can actually start to feel vapid and feel destructive. And Jess has this beautiful balance of both what she calls the sacred and the profane, like the depth of healing and the lightness of not forgetting the cosmic joke that we all incarnated to have a good time, like that we came here to have fun. So it's a unique experience, this human one. And I feel like, Jess, you're really sucking the marrow out of being a human. So thank you for joining us today. And thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
It's such an honor, such a pleasure. I'm so looking forward to this and the full range of where we're going to get to go and play together.
Yeah, great. Oh, Sonia said I'm a professional opera singer, but I never sang like that. That's really saying something. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, like even someone who's a professional singer, like a new depth, a new modality, a new way of approaching something that you might have done before. And that's really what Ziva Magic is about. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to share with those of you who are new to me, new to Ziva, new to these retreats, like what is manifesting, what is embodied manifesting, what is Ziva Magic, and more importantly, what is happening on May 29th through June 1st, and the specialness and the profundity of what's happening. And then in a few minutes, we're going to have Debra Silverman join us, who is not only a psychotherapist, but also like truly one of the world's leading astrologers. And I mean, think about the bravery that it took for her to like step onto the stage 30 years ago and say like, hey, everybody, like, here's the science of astrology, right? People would like write her off, dismiss her, call her crazy. Now it's like, a booming industry. Everyone thinks like, yeah, of course, like, top executives at Google having like astrologers, like before they hire anyone or before they make strategic decisions, they're consulting their oracles and their priestesses and their astrologers. But 30 years ago, when Debra started this, that was all considered very, very woo. So anyway, Debra is going to be joining us to talk about how astrology can actually impact your manifestation. But before she gets here, I just want to give you a window into what's actually happening. So I had my trainer came this morning. I've just started working out with a trainer and I feel so proud of myself and I feel so much stronger because like we all need mirrors, right? We all need guides. We all need coaches because we can't train ourselves. We can't coach ourselves. We need that external reflection. And he was like, he said today, it was only our third session. He's like, what do you do for a living? I was like, well, I teach meditation and magic. And he was like, what does that mean exactly? And I was like, well, the meditation part is pretty easy to understand, right? Verifiable fourth state of consciousness, getting rid of stress in your nervous system, like it makes your whole life better. It's like deep rest. It's like a nap sitting up without the sleep hangover. You guys know my spiel about meditation. And he was like, I'm sold. I'm in 15 minutes a day. Great. Sign me up. And then he's like, what's magic? And I was like, well, magic is basically manifesting. It's you visualizing, alchemizing, and magnetizing not only the life that you desire, but also the world that you desire. And when we shift our state of consciousness, when we shift our biochemistry to become an energetic match for that which we desire, it starts to feel like magic. Now, those of you who've been with me for a while know that it's not, in fact, magic. There's an extraordinary amount of neuroscience and biochemistry and ancient technologies and modalities backing this up, but it does, in fact, feel like magic. And so I just want to share like what is embodied manifesting, what is Ziva Magic, and then how are we going to work with these technologies on the retreat. So manifesting is simply consciously creating a life you love, right? It's you getting intentional about what you want your life to look like. And the reality is we're manifesting all the time. All of the time, like it or not, conscious or not, you are manifesting. Your thoughts do become things. Your state of consciousness does impact not only your reality, but the way I was describing it to my trainer today, I had some tuning forks here. He's like, what is manifesting? I was like, basically, it's you becoming an energetic match for your dreams. So this tuning fork right here, this is 221 hertz. So this tuning fork, 221 hertz. If I were to play the frequency of 221 hertz of music in this room right now, this tuning fork would start vibrating. If I were to play music in my room right now of 440 hertz, this tuning fork does not vibrate. I just want to say that again, right? I play the frequency of music in this room, this tuning fork starts to vibrate. If I play a different frequency, this fork stays still. And we've mapped out the Ken Wilber and also, who's the man that wrote Power versus Force and Letting Go? Is it Ken Wilber? Or no, it's someone else. I forget right now. Anyway, he's mapped out, we'll look it up later, but he's mapped out different human emotions and basically charted their energetic signature and the vibrational frequency that matches different energetic states. And so like guilt, shame, fear, they have a certain energetic frequency. Awe, wonder, truth, love, safety, they have a different energetic vibration. So let's say you go to a cocktail party and you're feeling stressed about money, afraid that you're getting too old to find your partner. freaked out about the state of the planet right now in the world, like worried that your son is sick, and like pretty like afraid. Like that is a dominant feeling you're having, is fear. You are going to be vibrating at a certain frequency. Let's say it's 15. And then you go to a cocktail party, you're vibrating at the frequency of fear at 15. You naturally are going to activate, attract, and be able to see the other people in the range of 15, the other people in the range of fear. So it truly is like, you don't get what you want in life, you get what you are. Right? Because if you're putting off the frequency of fear, you are activating and seeing and attracting people at that same state of fear. Now, conversely, you got up this morning, you did your Ziva meditation practice, you worked out, you did a pleasure practice, you wrote down your prayers, you went for a walk in nature, you had a nourishing breakfast, and you are like feeling great. You did an amazing, you gave it your all at work. And you go to that same cocktail party and you're in a place of feeling like proud of yourself and actually grateful. And so now you're vibrating at the frequency of gratitude, and let's call that 55. That has an energetic signature to it. It's you go into that cocktail party, and not only are you going to activate the other people vibrating around 55, vibrating at gratitude, you're going to see them, they're going to see you. And so again, you are attracting not what you want, but what you are. And so if you are feeling a little frustrated with what you've been manifesting in your life, financially, love-wise, health-wise, even societally, to some degree, we could argue that like we get the state of we get politicians that are a reflection of the state of consciousness of the collective, right? So like, even if you're feeling frustrated with what's happening at large, the only thing we can ever do is clean our own house. The only thing we can ever do is change the energetic frequency of ourselves, so that every cocktail party that we walk into, every dance class that we go into, every pick up at your child's school, you're finding people who are an energetic match for who you are. And so rather than trying to control and change and manipulate the external world, instead, we could simply move from a 15 frequency of fear to a 55 frequency of gratitude. And instantly, you will start to see, attract, and interact with a whole different universe. Truly, like the entire universe changes the moment that you change your energetic signature. And I right now am living proof of this, you guys. I have been in a deep, dark, scary, sad, embarrassing, shame-inducing death spiral for many months. And it has been very challenging. And I feel so proud of myself, because I have gone through this and I have seen pieces of myself that I deemed unlovable. Right? I've seen parts of it, like it's called the shadow for a reason, right? We put it in the back where we can't see it for a fucking reason, because we don't want to believe that that is true. We don't want to believe that those pieces of ourselves exist. And so nature has given me the beautiful syllabus of being able to look at these pieces of myself that I deemed as unlovable and love them anyway. And that, my friends, is where the real healing happens. That is where the real integration happens. That's when we use this term wholeness. It's when we start to see not only the light side of ourselves, like, oh, look at the pretty, lovely, healed, healthy, like generous, altruistic parts of myself that I like, but also the fucked up, scared, ashamed, dishonest, manipulative, cheating, like all those parts of ourselves as well, which we all have. And we choose to love those too, like all 360 degrees of ourselves. And from that place of acceptance, from that place of love, from that place of wholeness, we can create real safety in our bodies. And the safety piece is very important. It's a key component when it comes to manifestation, because the Ziva magic formula is all about creating, first, safety in your body, so that you can then change your neurochemistry, change the vibrational state that you're vibrating at, so that you become an energetic match for your dreams, right? So this brings us into what is Ziva magic. Ziva magic is an embodied manifestation formula where we visualize, alchemize, and magnetize, right? We visualize something that we would desire. And I believe that nature is working through us all the time through our desires, that our desires are in fact divinely inspired, that they are not selfish, that it is in fact an indicator of where nature would like to use you to deliver your fulfillment to the world. And so inside of the desires, this is nature's instruction packet, right? Like this is nature telling us how she wants to use us. So we first visualize, what would I love? And inside of Ziva Magic, I teach you how to merge with the future version of you, like the version of you that already has the thing, the version of you that's already an energetic match for the thing. We actually start to bend time. We bend reality in this quantum field, in the unmanifest, so that you can like merge you where you are right now with the version of you that's already an energetic match for the dream. And then through that process, we discover all of the little pieces of us that are not already in alignment, that the little pieces of us that secretly don't believe that we deserve the desires. I just did a therapy session last night. I'm an amazing internal family systems therapist, and I'm dating right now, and I'm calling in like amazing men, like kings are showing up, and it's like, woo, it's very exciting, and it's thrilling. And I was noticing that there's a piece of me that it gets nervous, like, oh, like needy, like, oh, are they going to text me back? And like, well, maybe they just don't even like every time this man texts me, I'm like, well, like, it's like a surprise. Like every time he goes 2 hours without texting me, I'm like, well, certainly it's done. Certainly he's never texting me again. Certainly it's over. And then he texts me and I'm like, oh my God, oh, he's back. Anyone been there? Anyone been like, are they ever going to text back? Okay, glad to know I'm not alone. And so I was learning to love this little version of Emily that like doesn't believe that she's good enough, that doesn't believe that she's worthy of having a man of the caliber that I actually desire. Right. And as I get to love that little version of Emily, like that is the very thing that creates the deserving power. That is the very thing that shifts our energetic vibration. Right. So we visualize first and then we alchemize. Right. So we get to alchemize and integrate the pieces of us that are not a match for the dream. And the way that we do that, and the way that we will do this on the retreat, is through something called emotional alchemy. And this is actually where we get to like dance the blocks, dance the stuck, dance the ick, dance the rage, dance the sorrow, dance the fear even. And then we get to transmute it with bliss. We get to transmute it with turn on. And that whole process clears the channel. And then we magnetize. Now, what does that mean? It means that we actually turn on the magnet and the generator of your body. Now, good news, your body has come equipped with a magnet and a generator, and it's called your hoo-ha. Okay, now the cool thing about a hoo-ha is that everybody has one. It's gender inclusive, and it's not just the anatomy, it is also the energy center around it. So we actually turn on your magnet and your generator through your pleasure. And we build that pleasure through your root, through your heart, and up into your crown. And at the moment of peak pleasure, we send all of that energy to your dream. Right now, this is actually based on a very ancient modality. And some science behind it is that when you revisit that dream, when you revisit that that vision that you had from a place of bliss and oxytocin and safety and pleasure and fulfillment, you imprint on your nervous system that that dream is actually safe. You actually visualize that dream having already had happened from a place of ultimate fulfillment, ultimate pleasure, ultimate divinity, ultimate transcendence, like one of the highest states of consciousness that we can access as a human, using the internal pharmacy that nature has installed inside of all of us. And we use our pleasure to pray. And from that state of imprinting that dream from the place of safety and pleasure, this is where the magic happens. Because then when the opportunity comes, which it will, because your dreams are unique to you and nature has installed these desires inside of you because she wants to bring them into the manifest, when the opportunity comes, it no longer feels like it can make or break you. It no longer feels life or death. And this really changes your relationship with manifestation. So that's a big picture of like, what is embodied manifesting? The Ziva magic formula is visualize, alchemize, magnetize. And that is what we're going to do together in person on this Ziva magic retreat. Now, I have not run a retreat in a very long time, and I do not know when my next one is going to be. So if you've ever wanted to work with me in person, like this is your chance. And not only is this your chance, but it's also going to be amplified and magnetized magnified with Debra Silverman, who's going to be joining me in just a few minutes, and Jess Magic. So I really could not be more excited about this. So we tried to make this retreat as accessible as possible. We didn't you don't have to have a passport. You don't have to fly across most of our people are in North America. So it's just like a quick flight to Denver. It's this beautiful retreat center called Garden of the Gods. It is surrounded by this like majestic nature. Like the air is crisp. The mountains are this beautiful red juxtaposed from this beautiful blue. And we are going to be spending these 3 days, like really diving into the advanced waters of what is possible when you create safety in your body, become an energetic match for your dreams, and become so crystal clear on not only what you want for your life, but also like, what does heaven on earth look like? Like, what is your version of heaven on earth? And I really love this work. And I especially love the retreats because we get to amplify each other's prayers, right? Like we get to amplify our prayers for ourselves, but we will also do at least one ceremony where we are sending out our prayers for the planet. Like, what do we want for the species? So this is happening. You arrive on Thursday. We will have all day. We'll have Thursday night together, a welcome dinner, our opening ceremony. Friday will be all about dropping into coherence, meditation, getting clear on your dreams and your vision. Then we'll tune into the alchemies of like, where are the blocks? Where are the sticky bits? We're going to really start to dance with our inner children. Like doing a little bit of IFS, some internal family systems work, but making it really fun. There will be ceremonies every night, beautiful organic meals. On Saturday, we will move into more alchemy and the magnetize. And then on Sunday, we get to bring it all home. We get to integrate it and do the entire Ziva magic formula all together. You are going to meet every single retreat we've ever done. People have met new best friends. We've had love connections happen. We've had new businesses formed. We've had almost infinite amount of dreams and things manifested as a result of these retreats. And they're also just so much fun. So we're going to put the link here in the comments for those of you who like know that you're in and know that you want to join us. You can go to zivameditation.com/retreat-sign up. And those of you who are here right now today, if you sign up before the end of the event, we're actually giving you a really special opportunity to get it at the super early bird rate. So right now the retreat is $6,666, but if you enroll during this event, it's $5,555. So you get more than $1,000 off. That includes everything, food, all of the ceremonies, your lodging, like this, and this beautiful, beautiful community that you will take with you for life. And in addition to all of my facilitation and Jess Magic's facilitation, Debra Silverman is going to be sharing with us the astrology of the time, like how the cosmic weather is impacting our ability to manifest. So with that, I'm going to hand the mic over to the amazing Debra Silverman. Well, I'm going to ask her questions. I'm not handing it over. I'm bringing her to the stage. Welcome to the stage, Debra Silverman.
Yay, that was so fun. I love your passion so much.
I have to say, like, I feel so seen by you. I feel so like celebrated by you. And I think that you're such a star. And I'm truly like humbled and honored that you are joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the space. And it's so interesting that you are so fire, that your whole chart, you guys, what I teach, I don't know how many of you know me. I'm a psychotherapist and an astrologer of almost, get ready, 50 years. I'm way older than I look. Kind of shocking. And yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time. And so when Emily and I met, we did a podcast, and you encounter her energetics, which is why we're all in the room. There's a fire that gets started. And part of what fire does is it burns away whatever stands in the way between you and your dreams. So I can certainly say by my own example, because we both share the Aries energy, that I have pioneered lands that came out of my lineage and my family dynamics that were so limiting. And they lived inside of a system. My whole external outer world was based on what I was imprinted with. All of you can say this. Your inner child got a dialogue or got a storyline. And being brought up in the 50s, you guys don't even remember this, when I was a little person and I was limited with this concept of what women were allowed to do, of what success was, of being independent, of feeling sexual. Like the whole conversation was in such a small space. So I did my work, and then I handed the baton to Emily, and now she's handing the baton to you to say, let's let that go. That's what we're putting behind. But in order to do that, you've got to know how to use your system. And what I see that Emily's done is she's created a formula that lets the body, the first single most important, I love that you're a dancer and I was a dancer, that my degree in university back in the olden days in the 80s was dance. I was standing next
Was
to
Just Magic. Just Magic was also a dancer. So we've got 3 dancers coming at you hot.
And I was standing next to Madonna. I went to the same school in Michigan with her. So I was, and I have done a reading for her. And to see the level of energetics, once again, she's a fire sign, that comes with the beings on this planet that have to break ground. So what basically Emily's doing is inviting you to break the ground of a new world that leaves behind limitations. And what is abundance but abundance? I call it the abundance. It's abundance. Like if you can't get this thing moving, if you can't give yourself permission to get wild, loud, joyful, sexual, you're limiting. And by the way, the society's built to turn the fire down. Abundance, to be abundant, to let yourself be accepting. Like I live in a very beautiful world. I live on Kauai half the year and I live in Colorado half the year. Colorado, as she described, the garden of the gods, like putting yourself, this is really important for you to know, putting yourself in a group of people in a setting called the garden of the gods and activating the part of your abundance that got put to sleep or got stifled is the only way you're going to free yourself to the next phase of your life. So Emily is showing us by her example, like whenever we're around her, I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. That is, I mean, that is the energetic that breaks down what your mom and your dad and your grandma and your grandpa and your all that old stories that were limiting. She's giving us, it's in her chart. So I am an astrologer. I look at Emily's chart, which I was hoping to share because I don't know how many of you know astrology, but this is so much what astrology is about is you find your natural rhythm. And that's part of what I'm going to present because not all of you are like Emily and I, crazy people, fire mamas who wiggle and dance and talk about sex and medicine. Like that is not a normal thing. That's the fire people in the world. But we're here now. But some of you are the water people in the world who are tender and sensitive and internal and intuitive and quiet and don't want to be center stage, but you do long for the fulfillment of your dream. You just don't know how to get all excited because it's a little self-conscious or you don't. So you are meant to be the one sitting in the room teaching us about the calm, teaching us about breath. And I think certainly what I'm going to bring to this workshop is that's the water element. They're sensitive, they're mushy, they're moody, they can be depressed, low road, high road. They're creative, they're juicy, they're cuddly, and they have the yum yum factor down. Like they're like, I love my favorite things and my food and my yum yum. That's not fire. We're like, did we forget to eat? I forget to eat. Do you forget to eat, Emily?
I also have a
You're
very fast
because
metabolism. So
it's also because your Cancer rising, your soul is water.
Mm.
So you're built for the yum yum factor. I personally am not. I forget. I literally don't. I did not have dinner last night. Don't tell anyone. But the point is, different systems, different people, knowing your rhythm. If you've got water and you're sensitive and you're emotional, it's so important you know how to cry and move energy and get sexual again and keep that juicy current moving. If you're air like I am, you're thinking, you're on social media, you're taking all these classes, you're doing all this learning all the time, you're starving for information, you love the research, you love information, then your mind is going, should I take the workshop or not? Like if you're the indecisive one who spends so much time collecting information that you are now confused, the high road of air is I know intuitively from my water that my mind says yes to manifestation. I call it womanifestation. That's a very air thing. I changed the word. It's not just men manifesting, it's womanifestation by what the abundance, which is very air, making words up, tickling yourself, but being willing to use the mind to be decisive and succinct because you recognize that some part of your soul is calling you to take a workshop that is going to reactivate. Now that's air people. They got to think about it. They got to talk about it. They aren't going to get that $1,000 off because they're still thinking about it, but they're going to make the decision. The earth people, the practical people in this room, are knowing that abundance and the ability to give yourself the gift of practicality requires a change. And why do we go to a workshop? If not to get inspired and activated, because we don't do it when we're alone. Earth people need instructions, support, how much money, how organic is the food, how beautiful is the nature, will I have a schedule, will this be structured? All of you know who you are if you're Earth. It's all about the money, the practicality, and the results. What happens when you're around Emily, you cannot not get the abundance to change your life. It's impossible to finish this workshop and not have your whole practical world adjusting because you just made the energetic shift that started with your emotional body getting out of the stuck place, your air making a decision, and then the earth saying, I'll follow through, I'll do what she tells me to do, and then fire. Hello, Emily and Debra. This is all of you in the room that get so excited. You're so willing to take the risk. You know this is for you. You're the person that loves to be loud and excited and political. You have all these opinions. You're super driven. Am I talking about us, Emily? And those people have permission in this word. Part of what Emily does is give out permission slips. We are all allowed to turn up the volume. Like she throws them around, turns the music up, gets the body moving. We live in such a sedated internal cyberspace land. Not when you're around Emily.
Oh, Deborah, I love you so much. I love the way that you like bring all these kind of woo concepts, but bring it down into like the earth, like it's earth, water, air. Like you really synthesized the psychology and the elemental parts of astrology. What I'd love if you could just do like 2 minutes, because I want to, speaking of the results, like I want to share some stories from people who've been on retreats with me. But I'm curious if you can share like what you're going to be doing on the retreat as far as the big picture, like the astrology of the time and why it matters that people understand the astrology specifically of 2025 when it comes to their lives and manifestation.
Okay, so first of all, we are going to separate all of you into the categories of water, air, earth, and fire in the room. And what happens when you're aligned, before we go to the collective, it starts with you. When you get comfortable in your own skin and there's permission to be yourself and let Emily and I give you direct, it's like the water people, it's so fun to watch. The water people are always sitting very quietly and they're listening. The air people are like, excuse me, I have a question. They're always the ones that are confused. They're always asking 35 more questions. The earth people are taking notes. They've got their whole little computer out, their little pad of paper. And the fire people are like totally loudly laughing. So that's the first piece. The collective right now, 2025 and 2026, it's so interesting, Emily, because it's happening to your chart. I hope you know this. I'm going to tell you more. It's exact degree this summer for you. And I'll tell you what that is. All the outer, this you guys announcement, as if you didn't notice. The whole world is changing in 2025.
Have you guys had anyone notice that the whole world is changing?
Raise your hand. I mean, it's like we're all moving our heads going, I don't get this. Like, what is wrong? Nothing's wrong. This is predicted. We've seen this before. We have moved through transformation like this. We can't remember it, but I'm promising you. So 2025, every outer planet, starting with Saturn. Saturn enters Aries. I don't know if you knew that, Emily. Once every 30 years, Saturn goes into Aries. That happens on May 25th. It goes all the way to September. Then comes Uranus. Uranus enters Gemini for the first time in 175 years. Then comes Neptune, enters Aries. That happens at the end of the summer. And then, as you may know, Pluto in November of last year entered Aquarius. Every one of the outer planets, get ready, are moving into fire and air, which is combustion, which is change, which is radical invitation. And if we aren't prepared, the mind gets scared. And that's why there's Emily's in the world, because she reminds us, wait a minute. There's a formula for this. There's a way to get your body in position. So there's a transition occurring starting this summer. It began in November of 2024 when Pluto entered Aquarius, but throughout the rest of 2025 and 2026 is when it really, we're just hearing the rumblings right now. We're all watching the news or we're feeling it. We're like, something's weird. Yeah, it's like that. It's like, but it doesn't actually have its effect till 20.
Under your hats, everybody.
Yeah, but that's why this workshop's so important, because if you don't get the body regulated to the voltage, I am almost 70 years old, and part of what's kept me young is that I do move sexual energy. I run every day. I'm on an electric bicycle. I'm literally hiking every day. I'm in the ocean. If I'm in Boulder, there's these bike paths that are, by the way, did you know this? That where you're going, the Garden of the Gods is the best bike paths. You can rent electric bikes there. And there's this incredible, unbelievable bike ride there. So, but see, many of you are this is what happens with what Emily changes. If you're sedated or if you've grown up and you turned into a grown up, you lost the fun factor. Emily activates the fun factor. And once that happens at the end of that workshop, you're back alive again. And that's what the bun dance is. And that's what astrology's screaming. We have to get our bodies activated to prepare. See, I have like you, I had a really hard time I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. where my emotional body went nuts. And I have to be transparent and honest. It's a management game. I got sad and I got scared. And I have a book coming out April 8th that's called I Don't Believe in Astrology. So everything's been, it's such a funny title. Everything's leading up to that. But you know how you get anticipation and you're feeling like expectations, or you're feeling some of you are sedated and you don't feel like you're getting excited? There's a range. Either you're like us, Emily and I, super excited, always on, or there's the people that are more earth and water. They're stable, they're quiet, and they feel guilty because they're not doing enough. Well, in the middle of those two places is the land of awareness. So after I had my emotional drama, which was private because I had to call my therapist,
Just feeling our feelings. Your feelings are welcome
I
here.
did
All
it.
of
I
us welcome.
totally, that's what I love about you. Yes, I was so kind of surprised at the range of what I was experiencing. I was so mad at the world, at God. Like, why is everybody so scared? Is this really how you want to wake us up? Like, take the alarm clock off and just tap me on the shoulder. Why are you screaming at me? After I went through that resistance and I turned into a little stubborn kid going into a temper tantrum, I calmed. This is what you learn in workshops. This is what I teach about astrology. Astrology is turning on the observer, stepping off the planet, looking at yourself, noticing the patterns, looking back at your nervous system, and realizing, whoa, I am so emotional right now. I'm losing my shit. Okay, no judgment. You're welcome. Finishing that wave and then regulating myself with all the stuff that we learned from Emily. You've got to move energy through your body, Deborah. You have to cry. You guys, we can't do this if we're not fully alive. And if Emily is not fully alive, I don't know who is. I mean, let's be honest.
I am
Why are we
playing
all in
all
this room?
88 keys of that piano, y'all. I'm playing them all.
Yeah, she was a Broadway dancer. I mean, she's inspiring us to get up. So part of why you do this workshop is you just say, you know what? I need the access to knowing. We will look at the chart of the times. And yes, I will go into more details when we're in Colorado. But the point is your charts are being touched by this to varying degrees. Some of you are going to feel the upswing of it and think, you know what? This is the coolest time ever. I feel like I'm really coming to life. Others of you are going to go into contraction. Not when you finish a workshop like this and you learn the practical skills of how to manage the elements.
Right.
How do I personally? I had to cry because I'm a mush. I mean, it's always a little embarrassing, but I have a high degree
Being
of
human.
water.
So, Zebra, I really appreciate you sharing this and also like pulling the lens way out of how important it is that we are not only equipped to understand our unique, like cosmic imprint, like that's what astrology is, right? It's a snapshot of the planets on your body at the moment that you were born, but then also like this massive transitory phase that we're in as humans. And I actually think that this is why, like this shift that's happening right now, I did not know in my mind that it was coming, but I think that it is why 4.5 years ago, I got the download to start doing embodiment work because I knew that we had to get people feeling safe in their bodies as AI and this technology, like just everything is going to shift so much faster. We have to actually remember the human technologies. And so I feel so grateful that I've spent the past many years developing these modalities so that we can like help people feel safe in their bodies and actually maybe even more relevantly in this time of destruction, which destruction is neither good nor bad. It just is, right? According to the Vedas, there's no such thing as good or bad. There is only creation, maintenance, and destruction. And right now we are entering a phase of destruction. And so the thing that I want to be a part of, and the thing that I want my legacy to be, and the thing that I very much want to impart to every single person on this retreat is to giving you the tools on how to put your attention on the creation that comes inevitably after this phase of destruction. How do we tune into the frequency of heaven on earth? And how do we plant the seeds of creation that will come on the other side of the destruction of irrelevance? And these systems had to be destroyed. They've been built on irrelevant systems, right? So it's neither good nor bad. It just is. But we could either suffer, resist, be afraid, and vibrate at the frequency of destruction, or we can get ourselves alive, feeling our feelings, filled with pleasure, filled with eros, and then vibrating at the frequency of heaven on earth. We can actually plant the seeds for the more beautiful earth that our hearts know is possible. And it's up to us. Like you could choose to stay home May 29th and scroll through the news and scroll through Instagram and continue to suffer and be in fear and contraction. That is available. That is an available choice to you. Or you could join me and Debra and Jess and actually create heaven on earth in your bodies. So I'd love to invite a couple of friends who have been on retreats with us before to share their experience, like that earth, like what shifted for them. So like, let's bring Jessica up first and then Oliver just to share like a minute or two. And then Debra, we're going to be coming back to you in just a
I
moment.
love that so much. Thank you so much for saying.
My pleasure. Jessica, hi. Can you unmute yourself? Just hit that little
Yeah.
audio button.
Hi.
So Jessica joined us on our last retreat, and I still have a memory of you doing like your first pleasure prayer ceremony, and like afterwards you were just like so open, so alive, so like just so
Uh-huh.
in your body. And I feel like life has just continued to shift and unfold for you. But can you give us a little window into like how the retreat changed things for you, or a little bit of before and after?
Yeah, I would love to. I'm so grateful to be here. And Deb, with you here, I want to say I'm a Scorpio sun, Scorpio rising, and Leo. Moon is in my Leo, so I just wanted to share. But this retreat and experience changed my life. I realized before I wasn't even dreaming. Like I was living this life, and I was in a partnership and a career, and I was an entrepreneur, a business owner, and everything, like I did all the things and I just felt so empty. And when I got to this retreat, I was realizing I wasn't dreaming. And Emily, what you and the team brought to me was like, what is the dream? And I was like, I don't know. And so what this retreat helped me do is like, well, can you just dream? Like, how good can you feel? And that's where I started to come into my body. And then from that place, it was like, okay, like I might not know what I want, right? Like I haven't been conditioned to dream before, but I can dream. Like, how good can I feel right now? How good can I feel today? And since then, since this retreat, it hasn't even been a year. My whole life is different, and I have friends on this call that can attest to it. I mean, I sold my business, I left a partnership, I sold my house, I moved. The only thing I could dream of was I want to live in the middle of the woods and come back to the witch inside of me, and then like from that place create. And I manifested that. I've been living in the middle of the woods for 5 months, chopping wood, building fires, and really creating the fucking life of my wildest dreams. And I just could not have done any of this without this retreat and the people that I met and the infinite possibilities that I was able to access that I just didn't have access before. And Emily's transmission, if Emily gives no tools and does nothing, just being in her transmission and her medicine will uplevel your life in ways that you just don't even know is possible. So thank you. Yeah.
Jessica, thank you so much for saying that. And it's
Yeah.
good. That's good medicine for me because I'm like, I'm going to give you all the things. We're going to start at 7 a.m. We're going till 10 p.m. I'm going to teach you
Yeah.
everything I learned in my 20 years. Like, I'm like, Emily, maybe you just have a chillax
Like
at the pool.
your embodied presence is such medicine. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. And I'd love to bring Oliver up. You guys, Oliver, I think, has been on more retreats than anyone except for maybe me. He's come to like almost every Ziva retreat. Oliver, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you.
I just want to know, like, why do you keep coming back, sir? Like, what
Because
you
I'm
got for us?
obsessed with you. I can't get away from you. Yeah, I mean, I've known you for over a decade, and the journey that I've been on in that time is extraordinary. I sort of want to piggyback on something that Jess said, which is that I really relate to this feeling of, I'm sure there are people on this call, and I celebrate everyone who has a very clear dream and a clear vision. That is so wonderful, and God bless those people. We need those people. I have never been that person. I have always been the person who's lived in that murky place of, it's the air sign, Debra, probably. All the things that I want, all the things I could possibly do, and where am I going? Blah, 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 blah. And through the few retreats that I've been on, the clearest message that keeps coming through is that it's not about what I'm doing. It's about who I'm called to be. And this is something that you embody so beautifully, Emily, that everybody that you work with, all the co-facilitators on these retreats do so well, which is just how you show up in the world. And out of that, change is possible. Anything is possible. And it's not linear, you know? I think that's something that really blew my mind, is that I thought, okay, I'm going to go on this retreat. I'm going to have a clear dream. Everything's going to shift. And that's not how it's happened at all. My life is very different now, but it's energetically different. It isn't so much that like, oh, I've blown up my life. I live somewhere different. You know, God bless you, Jessica, for doing that. my life is very much the life I had before, but how I relate to it is so different, you know?
Um,
The way I feel about the people in it, the things I do, myself as an artist, um, yeah, it's just shifted in a really beautiful way, and I'm so
Oh,
grateful.
Oliver, I love you for saying, I mean, I love you, period. But I love that you've said this, that like for some people, manifestation means new partner, new house, new job, like everything, like it's destruction that makes way for creation. And that's some people's paths. For you, like you were already you were in this beautiful relationship. You just got married to your beautiful husband. Like you live and you have this career that you love. And so it's like the internal relationship with reality is what has shifted. And I would say same, like when I moved to Katona, I came here kicking and screaming. I was like, fuck this, fuck that. Like, I don't want to live in the woods. I don't want to, like, I'm not going to dial in with cats eating my face in the suburbs. Like, I was just so angry and resistant to coming here. And now I'm in the same house, in the same, like, my, like, fine rental house. And I love it. Like, I'm so deeply in love with my life right now. And so my external reality didn't change, but my internal one did. Um, so can you just give us like a couple of sentences of like, why do you keep coming back? Like things have shifted. You've manifested, like, why are you coming on this retreat?
Why am I coming on this retreat? Because I am a lifelong learner. I feel like I have more to learn. I love, I think, yeah, okay, here we go. I didn't plan what I was going to say today at all, which is very uncharacteristic for me. And I think that is a shift. You know, I recognized, oh, wait a second, I really want to go and write down all the things that have changed for me and come with a very clear. And instead, I was like, you know what, I am going to show up and I'm going to speak authentically, and I'm going to trust that what I have to share is there for me. Um, and that is what I want to deepen. That's why I'm coming back, because I think that um, the ways in which I can lead, the ways in which I can shape my community and support the people I love and the people I don't even know yet whom I love on this call and elsewhere. I haven't even begun to touch that, and I'm really excited for that.
Wow. Thank you so much, Oliver. I love you. And I cannot wait to dance and play and cry and pray with you in Colorado on May 29th. Okay, we're going to hear from Rosa, who is one of my co-facilitators. She is a trauma-informed sex, love, and relationship coach and therapist, and she is going to be, hi, Rosa. She's been on many of our last retreats, and she's going to be facilitating with us as well. And here's the thing about Rosa and Phoebe, who are our trauma-informed therapists on site holding it down, is that it is because of their groundedness and safety that allows me and Debra and Jess to just fucking push the envelope, to like really take you to your edges, to your like to the edge, because that's where we grow, right? We don't grow by staying in the safe, in like the total safe same zone. We grow by walking right up to the edge of where we've been before. But our job as teachers and facilitators is to not take you too far. But if we walk right up to that line, like you're going to have Rosa and Phoebe there to like program in real time, reprogram, create safety in the nervous system, process, release trauma. They're there like watching, facilitating, meeting every single meal. You're going to get to work with them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like if something's coming up, which it will, right? Because we are going to be pushing all of the buttons, feeling all of the feelings. You're going to have these amazing facilitators in real time to help you rewire the trauma and turn it into fuel for your dreams. So Rosa, I'm just so grateful that you're joining us. And also you're one of those enthusiastic, I mean, you think I'm a permission slip. Like Rosa is like a walking human orgasm. She's just like a permission slip for pleasure everywhere she goes. And so I'm curious, Rosa, like, what are you most excited about for this coming retreat, having been on so many?
Emily, thank you for that intro. I'm just so excited to be back in that room because magic always happens. Like I know that I'm often like co-facilitating and supporting and being with everyone, but every single time my life changes. My life changes, my life up levels, my dreams become bigger and brighter. And so I'm really excited for the co-creation of the magic that we will be experiencing. And I think the thing that is really difficult to even, there are two things that I think that I really want to share. Like one is the power that really comes from when you suddenly become aware or even drop deeper into that feeling and realization, wait, I'm the creator of my own reality. Wait, I have the power to changed my life from like the inside out through all the tools, through the alchemy, through the manifestation. So it's not just, it's like we're healing the past and like accelerating into the future. It is really pouring rocket fuel on our dreams and desires. And so and the second thing that I think is really tied to this that I'm really excited about is it always feels like family. You know,
Mhm.
it's like a full community. Like Oliver and I still meet up in London whenever he's here. Like Jessica, we're going to be hanging out all over the world this year. Jennifer and I were at A-Fest together in Ibiza. So it's you can't quite comprehend the community that gets built, the family that gets built, and then how you all help each other thrive and grow. And it's a whole like community that is literally supporting you into your greatness time and time and time again. And so the opportunities are just like free flowing. And I think that is the thing that is the most magical is like you're not doing this journey alone and you're really accelerating it. Emily, I think that's something that you have really excel in, like with Ziva, with the communities that you create and the retreats is really where for me it becomes like family and it's yeah, it's really, 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 really beautiful. And so I've literally been witnessing in real time everyone's dreams coming to life. So I have like countless stories of everyone's dreams coming to life that I've been witnessing over the last like 2 years. And it inspires awe inside me every single day. So I'm excited to have an even bigger family.
Oh, I love that. And Rosa, like once in a moment, if you wouldn't be willing to share in the chat of like the dreams that you've seen happen, because like I sometimes
Yeah.
forget that you've like
Yeah.
actual little like things that people have manifested. It'd be cool to share that in the chat.
Yeah.
And
I'll share.
I can just feel as you're talking about like I mean, those of you who run experiences and run retreats, you guys know it's not like a huge revenue driver. Like this is not like a business maker for Ziva. We
Oh,
do it because it is fun. Like we do this because we love it. And we do it because it's just like, wait, like why else are we alive? Like what else are we going to do with these bodies in this time? So it's like we are doing this because it's so fun to see each other and facilitate, but then also for the family that gets created and that connection, that joy, these tools, this global family that you will have this for life. You will not be able to
literally.
unlearn the transmission and the installation that goes into your cells over these 4 days. Okay, so we are going to, I'm just going to share a few little details. So those of you who want to join, if you enroll in the next like 5 minutes, you're going to get over $1,000 off of the retreat. And those of you who have not yet taken Ziva Magic, you're actually going to get that because we want everyone there to have receive the actual like foundational training so that we can really go deep so that this can be an advanced transmission, which is really, really exciting. So you're getting like an extraordinary value if you enroll before the end of this event. So you should go to zivameditation.com/retreat-sign up. We'll put that link in the comments. And also those of you who have already signed up that are here, if you have friends that want to join, like you can send them that link right now. I'll be like, hey girl, like get in here in the next few minutes because you don't have to put in a code or anything. Like it'll just happen for you automatically at checkout right now. And then I think we're going to open up for Q&A. So I want to hear like, what are your concerns? What are you scared of? What are you excited about? Debra and I can answer those questions. And then we're going to let those of you who are just interested in the retreat, you can go. And then Debra and I are actually going to make a video about the VIP day. So little secret, the fun behind the scenes access. There's going to be a VIP day on Monday. So Sunday night and Monday. And those of you who are interested in that, you can stick around and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So let me know what questions you have. You can actually go to, what is it? You go to, how do you do it? Oh, react, that little heart button on the bottom. You can go to react and then raise hand. And we wanted to make sure we have some space for us to answer questions. So anything that's coming up, I think Caroline had mentioned some people are curious about the size, like the group size, because I get that this is really deep work and really intimate work and very vulnerable work. And so the retreat, it's not going to be wild. It's not going to be like Joe Dispenza where you have 3,000 people in the room, which even that is its own level of magic and amazingness. But this is going to be, probably less than 50 people. And like Debra said, we're going to be breaking it up into, you'll have small groups, you'll have integration groups, breaking it up into your astrological sign and elemental sign. So just know that it's going to feel like family. Like it will feel like family by the time you leave. Caroline, have any questions come up in the chat that you want us to address? I'm not seeing. I'm gonna go to whole view so I can
I
see
don't
everybody.
see any yet. Rosa is sharing some beautiful stories from folks who have had amazing transformations, if you want to check that out as well.
Oh, yes. So this was wild. So actually, this is the reason the VIP day was born. It was just that, like, at the end of one of the retreats, we were all sitting in the hot tub and we were sharing our dreams out loud. Like, what are the things that you're manifesting right now? And a woman was like, well, I thought I was gonna have to leave the retreat early. I'm getting on a plane right now to go and say goodbye to my father. Like, he's passing away. He's in the process of transitioning. And my prayer is that he might like be healthy or thriving, that I might be able to like really enjoy this goodbye with him. And he is now like thriving. Like that man is alive and thriving. I can't say it was just that hot tub time machine, but it was like a beautiful, like we were all witnessing that prayer and we literally created an antenna and a portal and we all prayed for her father in real time. We had someone who was turning a business around from almost crashing and burning to generating over 6 figures in the next year. Someone got a book deal. A man sold his business and then got it back. Like he sold his business for like, I don't know, many millions of dollars. And then he got the business back. Like he didn't have to buy it back. He just got it back. So like some crazy magic like that. Oh, we had a woman come who was 40 years old, living with her mom, was dealing with an extraordinary amount of religious trauma and sexual trauma, had never had an orgasm in her entire life, had her first orgasm during pleasure prayer in ceremony on this retreat, and then also had her first energy orgasm on this retreat. So imagine religious trauma, parental trauma, and then having not only her first physical orgasm, but also her first energetic orgasm. And now she's become like a full priestess. Like she's like studying Kundalini, changed her name. Like it was a real wild transformation. I'll tell this one story and then we can transition. But there was a man who was like mid-40s, male, straight, cisgendered, firefighter from Miami. And we did breath work. And it was our breathwork ceremonies are honestly worth the price of admission. Like the magic that happens during this breathwork is so good. It's like why I keep going to these retreats. But this man sits up and he's like, well, I found my energetic pussy and I liked it. And then he said, I know what it's like to gestate my unborn daughter. Like this man wants to be a father and he could feel what it was like to be a pregnant woman. And I was like, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the crumbling of the patriarchy looks like. It has nothing to do with destroying anything. It has everything to do with giving people the visceral embodiment of what the divine feminine and the divine masculine feels like in equal parts. So yeah, really, really special. All right. Any other questions before we transition?
Yeah, we have a great question. What happens if you have too many ideas, too many wants, not focused?
Oh, great one. So what we'll do on like the first night and part of the second day, so Thursday night and then Friday morning, we're going to do full ceremonies around visualize. And I'm going to be walking you through. And the cool thing is that different than me online or different than me on Zoom, when I'm in the room with you, I'm going to be able to tune in energetically and a little bit psychically of like, where is the room? Is it everyone crystal clear and super attached or too attached? Is the room unclear? And I'll be able to feel like where we are. And each ceremony that we do, I'm going to invite you to just choose one thing, just one thing. So you're just going to manifest each ceremony, one thing that you want to bring into fruition. And then the cool thing is that you have as many times as you will be in pleasure for the rest of your life, you have that many times to pray, right? Like there's no limit on the amount of times that you can pray. So you can manifest as many things as you want to, but each ceremony, we're just going to do just one. So that's a great one. Mm-hmm. And then I also know that Melly is here, which thank you so much for joining us, Melly. I would love Melly's been on many retreats with us, has like changed her whole life. I'd love to hear from you for a few minutes and then we'll transition to our VIP. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my
Hi,
gosh,
Emily. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited for a retreat. I've been on many, and it's always like almost like changing the oil in the car. Like no matter how good my life gets, I go to a retreat and it's like re-up. It's like a refill, a refueling, a re-enlivening of what's possible. So I'm really excited to meet all of you live and to be in that environment and in that love and in that magic. I am like a combination of Oliver and Jessica in terms of the impact to my life since I started connecting with Emily in this incredible transmission. I had a business kind of just burn to the ground financially. I had a lot of death portals. I had ego death. I had trauma. I had joy. I had explosive financial success. I had new careers. I have a new love, like all of lots of change and lots of shift. But bigger than that, for me, I think is this skill set and this tool that I take with me now of connecting to myself. I have a couple things I want to say. Sorry, I'm going to allow them to come through. Also, like Oliver, I didn't prepare. I used to be a preparer. I would have my exact list. I did not. So a couple things that want to come through. First is that I love Zoom, and what you can do on Zoom is really powerful. But to echo kind of what Rosa and Emily were talking about, there is something that happens with the co-regulation when you're live. It is why I will go to everything Emily Fletcher does for the rest of her life, because that re-enlivenment, that vibration, that it does something to my body, and you can feel it through Zoom. But when you are with a group of people who are all in that space together, it's just, I don't have words for how much it impacts my cells and how much it impacts how I feel. So that's one thing, is like, if you have the opportunity to do this live and seeing the frequency that Emily was doing these, and it's been a while and she doesn't know when she's going to do it again. Like, if you're sitting on the fence, this would be the time. This would be the time. I wouldn't want anybody who's here to miss that. And I don't say that. Emily has not given me any money. This is not a sales pitch. I say it because I think it's part of my contribution to the expansion of this work, and it's important work. So that's one. The other piece is to double tap the community. I have so many amazing friends, and surrounding yourself with people who speak the same kind of language, who can get excited for you. Not just the yes people cheerleaders, but also the ones who can hold you in your darkness, the ones who are not afraid of that full 88 keys. Once you start doing this work in community and you expand your own range for what you're comfortable with, and you have other people that can support you and you can support them, you start to see your own personal relationship shifting. And so, one, I have a group of friends from this retreat, but then also my own individual relationships with people have all expanded in depth, in beauty, in the dark, and in the light. And this is one of your phrases, Emily, but it's like the extent to which you're willing to embrace these pieces of you, correct it if it's wrong, Emily, but it's Melly's version of your words. The extent to which you're willing to feel the pain and feel your emotions is also the extent to which you can feel your joy and your pleasure. And I think I was living in the middle range. And since these retreats, I have both. I have experienced it. So thank you. Thank you, Emily. I love you so much. And I love everybody on this call. I hope you're able to take advantage of this.
Oh, thank you, Melly. And I couldn't agree more. And it is that simultaneity, right? It's like the same muscle that allows you to feel the depth and breadth of your sorrow and your rage and your grief is the exact same muscle that allows you to increase your capacity for joy and bliss and pleasure. And we're not here to just play one note on the keyboard. We're here to play all of them. And this age that we are entering, as Debra has shared, is going to require a dexterity and ability to play all of the keys, to feel it all. And so I would be
I'm so excited also to meet Debra and Jessica. I can't even imagine the magic on magic on magic.
Get ready.
I can't even imagine.
Get ready, you guys. So with that, you have like a few minutes left. We're about to let those of you who need to go, you can go. So you just literally have a few minutes left to take advantage of this $1,100 off, and also to get Ziva Magic, the online course, as preparatory for free. And this is like, you know, unheard of. Usually our retreats are like 10K plus the online course is 15K plus, like, this is like, we wanted to make this so accessible because we knew that we had 700 people who did Ziva Magic, and we're like, we know these people want to be in the room, right? Like, you see what's happening in the video, we're like, wait, I want to do that. And so that's why we wanted to do it in the United States. We wanted to make this as accessible as we possibly could. So I would highly recommend that you say yes. And if you're going to, now would be the time. And then we're going to let those of you who need to go. And then Debra and I are about to make a video about the VIP day, because Debra is going to be doing personal birth chart readings, and we're going to be doing a medicine ceremony, and it's going to get like, you know, it's a whole nother deal. And we're only, you know, inviting in like just a handful of folks for the VIP day. So those of you who are curious about that, who think that you might want to join us on Monday, June 2nd, you can stick around. But really, we're going to be recording this. It'll be like, you'll be like our, like on set, behind the scenes on set. But I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us. I hope for your sake and for ours that you say yes, because honestly, it's just so fun. we somehow managed to make intergenerational traumatic healing fun. And that is a feat that I am very proud of. Like, if you can make trauma healing fun and sexy, I feel like you've really done it. So you can go to zivameditation.com/retreat-sign up. And then we'll see you on May 29th. The retreat is May 29th through June 1st. And then the VIP day is June 2nd. So you can obviously email us if you have any questions, but we love you, we love you, love you. And then if you need to go, you can go. And then Debra and we can transition into our VIP day. Ah, woo! Good job, everybody.